Hey everybody, my name is Bethany. Thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me today. This is going to be my first podcast. I'm going to be titling it Knotty Moose Podcast. It is going to be about crochet, sometimes knitting. I plan to knit a little bit this year, and then sometimes sewing, but mainly crocheting. I live in Denver with my husband and our three cats, Elsa, Bellatrix, and Nala. Elsa is a calico, Bellatrix is pure black, and Nala is our gray tabby. So when I am in my craft room, I don't restrict them from coming in. So if you ever see them in the podcast, just be prepared, I guess. They do stay out of my craft room, though, when it is closed, just because there's a lot they can get into in here, and I don't want them in here when I'm not here. So let's just dive right in, right? So I wanted to start this podcast mainly because I've just been inspired by everybody that I've been seeing. I started watching tutorials on YouTube or listening to them at work when I got really bored. But while the tutorials are really cool, it didn't, I just got tired of watching them / listening to them at work. And then I stumbled upon Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet, and I just kind of spiraled into the crochet podcast community. And I've been loving watching everybody. I love Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet. She's so sweet. And I hope that she gets better soon. She's been saying that she's not feeling really well for the past few weeks. She doesn't want to dive into what's going on, and I totally understand that. So just wishing her lots of well wishes, keeping her in my thoughts and prayers so that everything's okay, whatever's going on. I also love watching Zach of the Stout Stitch podcast, Ella in No Catchy Name, Holly, and I can't remember her podcast name. I'm sorry, I just watch everybody and I don't know the names very well. And then Trina of the Claxton Tree Crochet podcast. I don't really know anybody in Denver who crochets. I'm sure there are people in Denver who crochet. I just don't know who they are, and I'm not connected with them. I've tried to get some of my friends to crochet. Their eyes just kind of glaze over though, and they're not interested. So here I am. I did try to do a meetup once for like a crochet group, that little meetup app on your phone, and I didn't like it. It was a little strange, and I only tried one time. It was very close to my house, about 5 minutes away, so that was nice. But they didn't really talk. They did work on projects when they were there. Just a bunch of ladies. They all knew each other. I didn't know anybody as of yet, but no one was really my age either, and that made it feel really weird. So I don't see a lot of young people where I am crocheting. So I wanted to join the community and talk about my crochet, which is really what I love. It's what helps me de-stress after work. So that's why I'm here. That's what I plan to do. So I hope that if you find this video that you just enjoy talking about some crafts with me too. So first off, I do have quite a few finished projects. One that I'm actually going to be entering into Hannah's cow for the Love Your Stash cow. My coworker had asked me for a dice bag last year, and he wanted some pretty specific specifications. He wanted it to be able to stand up on its own, and he wanted it to be wide enough that he could just like look at his dice when it was his turn, or plan his next move and reach in without it, like with it just being big enough. So I came up with like a little prototype at work. Asked him, hey, how do you feel about this? He said that's great. So I made him the one in the actual colors he wanted, which was Green Lantern. And then recently he started talking about another one for his friend, and how his friend might want one, and he actually turned it into, he's going to buy it for him. And he started asking me in like late November, and I said, no, Brian, I have too much to crochet for Christmas. It's going to have to be afterward. And so I did finally get it done. It's Iron Man, and I sent him a picture of the I don't know what the name is, the symbol on his chest, because I said, Brian, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. It's daunting. So I sent him a picture on Friday, and he loved it, except it was upside down, so I fixed it. But this is the finished dice bag. So this is what it looks like. Whoops. So it's just got the symbol there. It's got a gold bottom. I originally made this all in red, even though I was like, you know what, gold would probably be cooler. And I was right. When I was talking to Brian about it, he goes, hey, can you make it gold on the bottom and then gold tie strings? And I said, yeah, that's fine. I actually had like planned that already, but I didn't ask you. I thought you'd wanted it all red. And we came to the conclusion that I just should have texted him when I thought about it and was starting it. So I wasted some of my time, but it's okay. So, just got that gold base, red bag, the symbol, and then the pull string. So, it does sit up on its own. And then he wasn't too concerned about like how the pull string was. So to make it stay, the easiest way is to just like pull it tight and tie it a little. It's got like a tiny hole, but it's not too bad. Speaking of my kitties, I told you that they would probably come into the videos every now and then, and this is Elsa. Elsa, say hi. She's my baby. She has like a little expansion pack, I guess you could say, for it now, where you can add like wings, but I definitely don't want to do that. I've had everything crocheted up for months, but Orbit was just sitting in a bag because I didn't want to sew everything together. You have to sew this belly piece on, the legs. Oh wow, yes, that's a good close-up of you, thank you. I'm sure everybody wanted you to be the star of the show. Yes. Can you move? Boop, boop. Oh, Elsa! You're killing me. Don't get pissy with me. Get down. Sorry, guys. So anyway, you have to sew every little piece on. So each one of these spikes, the tail to the body, the legs to the body, this little belly patch, the nostrils, the horn, the horns, the eye, the ears. Very cute end result. I'm very happy that I'm finished with it because it's been like bugging me that it's just been unfinished for months. You're so noisy. So Orbit's going to be sitting down here on my desk. Very cute. Loved the pattern. It was very well written, very easy to follow. Would not make it again because I hate sewing things on. But if you want to make it, definitely I would recommend the pattern. Very cute end result. Very detailed instructions, especially on how to sew it together, which I think is really great for amigurumi. Sometimes patterns miss that, especially like where to attach things in terms of like rows. And this one was very detailed, so very great. She also has Comet the Unicorn, which is a lovely pattern. I think that one might be paid, which would probably be well worth it. But it also looks like a lot of pieces, and I don't want to do that. So, anyway. Then I also finished this headband today. It's a test for... Ooh, I don't remember, but I'll put all of the information down below. The pattern designer is not on Ravelry, it's just on Etsy, but they do have an Instagram, so I'll put all of it below. But it's a twist headband. I'm not sure, since it's going to be on Etsy, this isn't going to be free, but it was a, for the most part, pretty quick pattern. I just had some troubles doing this originally. I did it the wrong way, so... But very cute. I'm not going to put it on because it's a little weird to put on camera. I look really stupid. But it's very soft. It's made with Bernat velvet, and I love it. It's so warm. At the end of the pattern, though, she does indicate to mattress stitch this together. And she said to do it like wrong side out. So like you'd sew it together from the wrong side. But when I did that, the seam was really noticeable on the outside. It's not super noticeable in velvet necessarily. And this color is pretty dark, so you can't see it too much, but I didn't like that. So I did the mattress stitch from the outside, and I don't think you can see it very well. So for the most part, it's fairly seamless, and I did like it. It's very soft. I also made one for another friend at work, one of my teammates, and that pattern was by Cassandra from And She Laughs, and that pattern's on Ravelry. You can either get it for free on her blog, or pay a little bit and get a PDF pattern. And I'll link that one down there too. I don't have it with me. I already gave it to my coworker, but I will insert some pictures so that you can see it. And it was a really quick workup. Since it is free on her blog, I don't think that I'm going to give anything away if I mention that it did run really small. So when I first crocheted it up, it indicates to use... She's stuck in a bag. I'm so sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry. It's like kids, but I don't have any kids. So, it was really, really like small. It was short by about this much. And, so in total, well, I ripped it out a lot. I frogged it back to the very beginning, worked it up into 6mm hook. It was still too short, going with what was indicated in the pattern. And so I ended up adding 2 rows additional on each side of the cable, so 4 rows total. And then I gave it to my coworker and I said, hey, how does this fit? And she said it could fit, but it's too small. And I said, okay. So I frogged it back to before the cable, added 2 more rows before that, and then 2 more rows after the cable again. So 8 rows total, and then it finally fit. So I'm not sure if really what was going on with that, but it did run really small. So if you do make it, I would suggest adding a few rows as you go, or measuring to make sure that you know how big it's going to be in the end. So, and then I'm not sure if this was in the past 2 weeks or not, probably not, but I thought I'd show you anyway because it's super cute. I tested a pattern for BB handmade gifts on Instagram, and the pattern is on Etsy, not Ravelry. And it is this tiny raccoon made with a 1mm hook and size 10 crochet thread, and I think that the little stitches when you use size 10 crochet thread are so cute. He's a little strange looking, the one that I made, but the pattern's great, very easy to follow, and I love that the body and the head are made all in one piece because, as I said before, I hate sewing pieces together. So there's my little raccoon. It's called the tiniest raccoon, and I'll link that down below too. And then, as of right now, I have 1 whip, and it's going to be finished soon, and I need to block it. It's a shawl. It's the first shawl I'm finishing. I started a shawl in like 2016, the virus shawl, and it's sitting in a bag, in a bin underneath my stairs. So, this is the Secret Paths shawl. It's free, and it is on Ravelry, and I'll link it down below because I can't remember the pattern designer's name. Oh, this is the wrong way. You guys, we're seeing the back side. Look at all of that texture. It is so pretty. I love these bobble stitches. And then these ridges are made using front post and back post double crochet. And it's made using the Shawl on a Ball Cleansing Quartz colorway. For Secret Santa at work, I had mentioned that I wanted to try like Shawl on a Ball. And so my boss was my Secret Santa, and she got me this color. And I think I'm actually just going to gift it back to her. She gets cold at work a lot. We work in a call center, and they like to keep it cold. I think it's to keep us awake. So, it's been a nice yarn. It does get thick and thin in places. It kind of reminds me of like the homespun. But, it's a cotton acrylic mix, and then like 2% for the other, which is the shiny tinsel that you see going through it. So, almost done. I think I have about 3 more rows left, and then I'm going to lightly steam block it, and I'm not sure if I want to add tassels or not, but I do have quite a bit left of the skein, and even though I have a few more rows left, I know it's not going to use all of it, so there we go with that. And then I think I have 1 more whip, but it is about to be snoozed because, speaking of my boss, she did ask for some commissioned pieces, which I told her I would do after the holiday season. So she wants me to make a toothless, which I've already got a pattern queued up and then she also wants a panda for one of her friends for her baby when her birthday comes around, which I think is in April. And then she wanted a turtle, and it's like the squirt one almost, and I have that queued up too. So I need to work on those. And then once I get those finished, which hopefully won't take too long, but we'll see. I do want to get more done with this one, and this is the it's from Doctor Who. It's the TARDIS. My cousin is getting married in May, and we're flying out to New York, and we don't have a lot of money to give her for a wedding gift. That's the word. So, I mean, I guess we could have if we hadn't flown out there, but we wanted to be there in person. So, I'm going to be making the TARDIS, and I think I have the pattern with me so that you can see what it looks like finished. Oh, and the secret pads I have down here too. I'll actually tell you the pattern designer if the name is on here. I didn't print that part. How typical. Never mind. But anyway, this is the finished police box TARDIS. And that's what it'll look like. This is filet crochet, so I opted to do the four double crochet mesh crochet, so 4 stitches make up a block. And so like this post begins the block. These 2 empty spaces with the chains are the inside of the block, and then this ends the block, and then it just shares it with the next one. So now it's the beginning, and so on and so forth. And I wanted to make the Lord's Prayer wall hanging this year for my father-in-law, and then possibly my husband's grandma in the Catholic version. And I wanted to just kind of ease myself into filet crochet, so that's what this is. It's been working up really quickly. I did get almost all the way done, realized I missed a stitch way at the beginning, which would have messed up the top, and I did try to just add a stitch, but because it is so mesh, it looked really stupid, and I didn't do it. So I tore it all out, and then I've torn it out a few times after that, and it's killed me each time, but I want it to be right. And then once it's all finished, I will go ahead and block it and sew it down on a mat board and frame it in like a shadow box frame so that it doesn't touch. So, and then for that one, I'm using a 1.5mm hook and size 10 crochet thread, which is the Artiste brand, and it's just from Hobby Lobby. So this is how much I tore out. And I used like the little magic knot, I don't even know if that's the term, to combine the 2 skeins. So it's worked up fine so far. And then I do have some acquisitions. One has come in very handy since I frogged so much of, that was yarn, I apologize, so much of my cousin's gift, and it's just this. It's called the Yarn Valet. I got it at Hobby Lobby. My mom gave me a gift card for Christmas, and I used my 40% off coupon on this. So normally it's $14.99. I don't know what I got it for because I don't want to do math, sorry. So this just spins, and it's been very helpful. And for like cakes, I just kind of like stick it through the middle, and it just turns. That way I don't have to get it from the middle, and it like collapses in on itself. That's really been bugging me. So it does have these little holes for like holding your stitch markers, is what it says on like the packaging, but I don't use it for that. I don't do that at all. It says this thing is supposed to hold your pattern, but I don't want to do that either. But it does have like a ruler on it, which is really nice. So I mean, that's been helpful. But that's my first one. And then from Chloe Rebecca Boutique on Etsy, I got this Stitch Please crochet hook, size F. It was purple, and purple's my favorite, so I had to get it. And luckily it was one of the 2 that were left. So I just got lucky. But it's punny. I like it. And I'll probably be using it soon. We'll see. And then because I am wanting to work with filet crochet more, which does use thread, I bought some cheap steel hooks, I guess is what they're technically called, on Amazon. They were shipped directly from China. It's got a bunch of them, and I think the smallest is, let's see here. Yes, 0.8 millimeters. And then the largest is 2. So this pink one is the 0.8 right there. And I haven't used them yet. The one that I'm using to make my cousin's is from Tulip, and I really like it. It's got a nice hook, or a nice grip. And I can't make these without a grip. I tried for a Mario that I made my brother, and it didn't go well. So, and then I do have some yarn. I got a bunch of velvet yarn. I won't show you. I don't even have all the colors down here. The gray one is the Vapor Gray, is the one that my coworker wanted, so I got that for her. This I got for me because it's purple. And this is the Gray Orchid. Very pretty. I plan to make a headband. And then I got a light blue, which I originally thought was the gray that my coworker wanted, but I was wrong. This is softened blue, and it's a mess. And then I got this like dark blue, and it's 100% polyester if you haven't worked with it. It's very soft. And then I have like this cream color on the floor, but I don't really want to grab it, so sorry. And then I did buy 3 from Michael's, and it was the buy 2 get 1 free. And then I had gotten 3 from Joann's, and they had a 25% off sale on Bernat yarn, so it was like $1 more than Michael's after all was said and done. So I thought that was a really great deal. I got 6 skeins for about 45 bucks. And then when I was at Michael's, I also did get this buttercream mohair. And Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet has a shawl that I want to work with. And I wanted to try mohair. It is only 10% mohair, but I do love the halo. It's got a small one going on there. So 80% acrylic, 10% polyamide, whatever that is, and then 10% mohair. So there is that one. And then I really liked the shawl on a ball. So I got 2 shawl on a cakes. Because when I tried to go get the shawl on a ball to finish the shawl I just showed you guys, they didn't have it, and so I had to order from Amazon. But I did get this shawl on a ball, and it's beautiful. Show you that way. I really like these colors. And this colorway is Lotus Blossom, Lion brand. And Michael's, I believe, had a sale going on when I got it. Yes, they did, because they told me I couldn't use my coupon. So, and then this colorway is Namaste Neutrals. Kind of reminded me of coffee. I'm not going to lie, or like tiramisu. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to make with these because they, I didn't buy like more than one of each. And it's only got 481 yards or 440 meters. And most patterns for shawls use more than that. So, we'll see. But anyway, so that's the yarn I've purchased, and I do plan to stop purchasing yarn unless it's absolutely necessary. I want to work through my stash this year. When my husband and I moved into where we live now, a little over 2 years ago, I had a little more yarn than when I moved out of my parents' house. And by a little more, I mean it was like a decent amount more, but now it's a lot. When I moved out of my parents, it was only like this large thing that fit under the bed that had like rollers. And now it's a lot. So I need to work through it. But when we were at Hobby Lobby, I did also purchase some size 5. These are the wrong knitting needles, I've just realized. 3.75 millimeter knitting needles, circular knitting needles with a 16-inch cord. These were supposed to be 5 millimeter. Clearly, I don't read. I wanted interchangeable ones from Knit Picks, but they didn't have the cord size I wanted. So that's a bummer. I did get the double points in the correct size. So they're just from Yarnology, basic double pointed knitting needles. There's a hat that I want to make for my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law for Christmas, and it calls for 5 millimeter. Now, if I could get the hats off of my needles that have been on there for like 2.5 years, I will have that size. And I plan to do that this year. My mother-in-law got me a rolling tote for Christmas, and I think that I'm just going to put all of my unfinished projects in there from like these past few years. Put it in there, and every time I want to start something new, I'm going to have to just switch what I'm doing and get it finished. And if I know that it's not going to bring me like any joy when I work on it, I'm just going to frog it. So, but that's me. That's what I'm doing, and I hope you join me for my next one and that you enjoyed spending some of your crafty time with me today. I really enjoyed kind of diving into what I've been doing, and that's all. I'm a little awkward. Sorry. And I'm not as well dressed and put together as some of the other podcasters, but this is like my average attire. So anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. See, he likes them. That's really all that matters. Oh my god, cat butthole. Oh my god, Elsa, I'm so sorry, guys. This is what living with a cat is like. They just shove their buttholes and everything.